Have you ever closed the door behind you and wondered what your cat actually feels in that exact moment you disappear from sight? Or is it just another ordinary second in their day? Because here's the uncomfortable truth most cat owners never consider. The life you think your cat is living while you're gone might be very different from what's actually happening behind that quiet face, waiting by the window, the couch, or the hallway. The moment you leave the house, something subtle shifts in your cat's environment. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. In fact, that's what makes it so easy to miss. To you, it's just going out. To your cat, it can feel like the entire emotional structure of their world has temporarily changed. Most people assume cats are independent, almost indifferent, that they simply sleep, stretch, and wait without much thought. But modern feline behavior research tells a different story. Cats form strong attachment bonds with their humans, often similar in emotional pattern to young children with caregivers. Not identical, but deeply connected in ways that are easy to underestimate. So when you leave, your cat doesn't just do nothing. They process your absence. At first, it often begins with confusion. You might notice them watching you as you grab your keys, as if they already recognize the pattern. Cats are incredibly sensitive to routine. The sound of shoes, the jingle of a bag, the direction of your movement toward the door, all of it becomes part of a learned sequence. And when that sequence completes and the door closes, there's a moment where expectation meets absence. In that moment, your cat doesn't understand time the way we do. There is no, "You'll be back in a few hours." There is only, "You were here, and now you are not." Some cats immediately shift into what looks like calm behavior. They may walk away, groom themselves, or find a sleeping spot. But don't confuse calm with emotional absence. In many cases, this is a coping response. Grooming in particular is not just hygiene, it's self-soothing, a way to regulate internal stress without needing external reassurance. Other cats take a very different path. They follow your scent trail. They return to places where you usually sit. They may even sit by the door, not because they understand waiting time, but because that is the last place where your presence still feels recent. And here's where it gets interesting. The emotional experience of your absence is not constant. It comes in waves. At first, there's alertness, then curiosity, then waiting, then something closer to emotional settling, where the cat adjusts to the temporary silence of your presence being gone. But that adjustment doesn't mean disconnection. It means adaptation. Some cats will sleep more deeply when you are gone, but studies suggest this can also be a form of energy conservation tied to social comfort. In simple terms, when their social anchor is missing, they reduce activity. Not because they don't care, but because their environment feels slightly less predictable without you in it. There is also something most owners never notice: timing awareness. If you leave at the same time every day, your cat builds an internal expectation cycle. Not a clock in the human sense, but a behavioral prediction system. They begin to anticipate your return based on environmental cues like light, sound outside, and household patterns. This is why some cats become more active shortly before you arrive home. They aren't psychic. They are observant beyond what we usually give them credit for. But the most misunderstood part of this entire experience is what happens emotionally in the middle of your absence. There is a quiet phase where your cat is no longer reacting strongly, but also not fully relaxed. This is the part where attachment is most visible if you know how to look for it. A cat might rest in a place that smells like you. They might occasionally check familiar locations, not frantically, not anxiously, just checking, as if verifying that the world still contains traces of you, even if you are not physically present. And yes, some cats experience a mild form of separation distress. Not all, and not in a dramatic way. It can show up as increased vocalization when you return, clingier behavior, or simply staying closer to you for a while after you come back. That welcome home behavior is often not just excitement, it is release. Because in their own way, your return resolves something that was quietly unresolved while you were gone. Here's what makes this relationship so emotionally complex. Cats don't express absence the way dogs often do. There is less overt display, less obvious emotional signaling. So humans assume there is less feeling involved. But absence doesn't mean lack of emotion. It just means different expression. Your cat is not sitting around building stories about where you went. They are not imagining scenarios in human language. Instead, they are tracking patterns, emotional safety cues, scent familiarity, and environmental stability. And when you are gone, one of the most important stability signals in their world is temporarily removed. So what do they really feel when you leave the house? A mix of recognition, adjustment, subtle uncertainty, and eventual acceptance. Not because you don't matter, but because their mind is designed to adapt to presence and absence in cycles, not to hold on to emotional concepts the way we do. And yet, the most important part comes when you return. Because in that moment, everything resets. The sound of the door, your footsteps, your scent entering the space again, all of it rebuilds their emotional map of safety. That is why some cats greet you immediately, while others wait, observe, and slowly come closer. Each reaction is part of the same underlying truth. You are not just part of their environment, you are part of their stability. So the next time you leave the house and wonder what your cat is thinking, remember this. To you, it is a simple exit. To them, it is a temporary shift in the emotional rhythm of their world. And your return is what makes it complete again.